funniest way a cheating partner got caught? When my son Johnny was 7 years old, I became convinced I had accidentally uncovered the biggest secret in our family. That afternoon, Johnny burst through the front door looking more excited than I had ever seen him. His shoes skidded across the kitchen floor as he practically shouted my name. Mommy! Mommy! I saw Daddy today. That immediately caught my attention because my husband was supposed to have been at work. I told Johnny to slow down and explain everything. What followed sounded like a soap opera. Johnny explained that he had spotted his father's car near the playground. Then he noticed Aunt Jane sitting in the passenger seat. Aunt Jane was one of my husband's work friends who would occasionally visit our house during birthdays and holidays. According to Johnny, they had driven into the woods and parked. Then he followed them. As he described what happened next, my jaw practically dropped onto the floor. He described the kissing. He described the embracing. He described clothes being removed. He described movement in the back seat. The more he explained, the more certain I became that I had just received first-hand evidence that my husband had been cheating on me. I nodded through the entire story while a plan formed in my head. When Johnny finally finished, I smiled and said, "That's very interesting. Why don't you tell that whole story again during dinner tonight?" That evening, the entire family gathered around the table. My husband looked completely relaxed. I smiled sweetly and said, "Johnny, why don't you tell Daddy what you told me earlier?" Johnny happily launched into the entire story. As he spoke, my husband's face slowly drained of color. I sat there feeling victorious. Then Johnny reached the ending, and I immediately regretted him ever bringing it up. He concluded by saying, "And then Daddy and Aunt Jane did the same thing Mommy and Uncle Jeff used to do when Daddy was stationed in the army."